first story of the evening, Germany striking back again with poison gas. Back in 1915, the Germans used chlorine gas on the French allies during the Second Battle of Ypres, using a simple hose and winds to spray them. A young nurse recently came out to tell us her story with the new gas attacks with something called mustard gas. Later, a historical account of flamethrowers with yours truly. New developments in machine gun weaponry with Newton Lewis, sports with Hunter Brown, and finally an exclusive interview with General Pershing.
Welcome, Vera Britton. How are you this evening?
I see people talking about what's going on with the war, but they don't really know what it's actually like.
What is it like?
If only they could see people suffering with this pain and dread.
Please continue.
I see them when they come into the medical tents. They have these ugly mustard-colored blisters. They can't even open their eyes. They're stuck together. They're fighting for breath every second. They can't even talk. It's only like a whisper. And all I can hear on every soldier is that they're sure they're gonna choke to death.
We're glad you made it through that.
Welcome back on the historical account of flamethrowers. In 1914, the German army was the first to deploy the use of flamethrowers. They were regarded as a blockade equipment and issued to pioneer units. After some relative ineffectual use, it was at this time decided to withdraw flamethrowers from the frontline service. However, certain officers were convinced of the potential of flamethrowers as weapons. And so concludes this account. On to Newton Lewis. Breaking news. America enters the war against Germany. In 1915, the Germans used U-boats to sink any British ships in their vicinity, one of the following being the Lusitania, a passenger liner. Nearly 12,000 people, including 128 Americans, lost their lives after being hit with one of the ship's missiles off the coastline of Ireland. The incident caused Germany to agree to stop the U-boat attacks, at least against the passenger liners. Recently, in an attempt to stop the war, Germany once again resumed the attacks on all ships and ship liners, causing President Wilson to declare war. We at Shipment News tonight wish well for all Americans.
Do I have to do this?
We don't have the budget for another guy.
It's almost 2 years since the Christmas truce. Ceasefires from Germany and the Allies for a single Christmas. Many eyewitnesses say that they tossed aside their various guns and other weaponry to play soccer with the other side. This has been the only time in the war so far with peace. We're not even sure who's keeping score.
Nice to have you here, General Pershing.
It's great to be out.
You've been leading our army to be our own. What's the backlash like?
The Allies aren't happy with us, considering they wanted to train with us, since they know all about machine guns and dodging weapons like tanks, I guess.
Tanks? What are they?
It's like a weaponized but slower car. Not surprised, mostly the Germans using them. 400 used in Cambria battle.
400? That's insane.
But I wanted to be sure it wasn't just our men being held lambs to the slaughter. Maybe soon I'll let the French command parts of my own men. I don't see that happening.
You don't?
No. They don't want to see their men die, just like I don't want to see mine die. I'm on a train where it basically says they would rather sacrifice Americans than hop on themselves.
Thank you. Keep going for us, General.
Using the kind of language that makes the sergeant blush. Who wouldn't join the army? That's what we all inquire. Don't we picture the poor civilian sitting around the fire? Oh, 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 it's a lovely war. A lovely war. To be a soldier, eh? Oh, it's a shame to take the pain. As soon as the valley is gone, we feel just as heavy as lead. But we never get up to the sergeant brings the breakfast up to bed. Oh, 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 it's a lovely war. of plum and apple jam. Home for the rain, how do we spend the money we earn? Oh, 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 it's a lovely war.
Introducing Coca-Cola, a beverage for your enjoyment that's only 5 cents. Here's an individual among drinks, a beverage that's familiar snaps a delicious and refreshing wholesomeness.
Coca-Cola has more than just mere wetness and sweetness. It's vigorous and full of life. You'll enjoy it from the first sip and the last drop and afterwards.
Delicious, refreshing, and thirst-quenching in stores near you.
Coca-Cola in Atlanta is not responsible for any cocaine addiction for the use of the product.
Oh, and I'm Newton Lewis, inventor of the Lewis machine gun. I'm here today with Private Johnson, and I will be teaching new soldiers the importance of my invention.
Okay, but what about the Vickers or the Lee Enfield 303?
Stupid child. I'm glad you asked. My machine gun has a rate of fire up to 600 pounds per minute, while the Vickers machine gun only has a rate of fire up to 500. Although my gun is slightly less muzzle velocity, which tops 2400 FPSs, it's only 10 FPS less than the Vickers machine gun. And does it really matter when my gun can fire another 100 in the same amount of time with my machine gun?
Okay, what about the Lee Enfield 303?
The statistics between the guns are very similar, both having the same muzzle velocity and the accuracy of 300 yards. But the fire rate of my gun is what makes it stand apart from the rifle, since the Lee Enfield rifle is a semi-automatic. This means that the gun can only shoot as fast as the soldier using it.
Okay, I can't wait to use it. Thank you. Newton?
Yes.
Thank you.
We are now entering into a new world of innovation yet destruction. The new weapons of war instill fear on the faces of countless lives. It is unknown where this line will take us, but one thing is certain: we will not perish. Good night, everybody.
Action.
It's like a weaponized but slower car. Not surprised, it's mostly the Germans using them. 400 were used in
Hello and welcome to Shipman's News Tonight. Our first story will be... shoot.
Wait, I didn't Hunter!
Is he okay?
I'm not.
Do I have to do this?
We don't have the budget. Sorry.
It's been almost 2 years since the Christmas truce. 20 sandwiches after all this. If you don't give me 20 sandwiches, I'm gonna call your mom.